Have you ever lived in a haunted house? Have you ever heard anything go bump in the night? Have you ever felt uneasy in your own house or in your own room or even your own bathroom? Yeah, that sounds like a freaking miserable time, right? Well, I've been holding a secret from you guys, and that is I lived in a haunted house for many years, and this is my story. Now, I know you guys are gonna laugh because some of these examples are gonna be very like, okay, absurd and maybe even reach, but when I was living in that house, I was hella scared and I was very, very petrified, and I'm not one to be scared of things. I do want to disclaim that I am still a skeptic when it comes to ghosts. I believe in demons, I believe in angels, I believe in God, I believe in the devil, I believe in heaven, I believe in hell. But the concept of ghosts for me is just really hard to grasp. And then again, I do believe in cryptoids, so which is weird because you're like, cryptoids are not real. But you know, it's like, I don't know. I'm a weird person, but then again, if you tell me that's a spirit, I'll probably believe you more than you telling me, oh, that's a ghost. Anyways, before I do continue about my haunted house story, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and tell your friends about this spooky, awesome channel. Go grab some coffee, go grab something to drink, go grab some snacks, turn on the lights, and let's have a spooky good time. I got my Back to the Future cup today. I don't like talking about my personal life that much, to be quite fair, but I'm gonna do it because you know what? We're gonna laugh about it. We're gonna be scared about it. This room that you're seeing, this is my room. It's been my room for many years now, but back in the day, it used to be my sister's room. And I'll tell you this, when my sister was growing up, she would always talk about how she always felt the presence of an old man that would just be chilling in this room. Yeah, crazy stuff. And I remember when I was little, I used to come in here to play with my sister because she always had the TVs and the Nintendos and all the cool movies. She was the spoiled one. So I will come here sometimes play and I'll tell, hey, I'm gonna be in your room. She's like, okay, whatever. And she'll be in the living room or in the backyard with her friends. I'll be playing whatever, Nintendo, Xbox, whatever it was at the time. And I'll feel the presence of just something weird. Like, oh my gosh, there's something weird in here. But I never really thought anything about it. Then one morning, my sister wakes up and she's like, oh, there's an old man in my room. And we're like, what the heck? My dad walks in, my mom walks in, there's nobody here. So we just thought it was my sister's imagination. A couple of years later, my cousin, mi prima, she would come and spend the weekends here. She was from San Bernardino, helping out with my parents' business as like kind of like a summer gig, weekend gig. She would sometimes wake up tired and I'd be like, what's wrong? She's like, oh, I just couldn't sleep because I thought somebody was in my room. I felt somebody in my room. I'm like, okay, whatever. And then one of these weekends, I remember she wakes up and she's like, I dreamt that there was an old man in my room. And we were all like, what? You're just kidding. You're joking. And we all really didn't believe it. Latinos, some of us believe this like crazy and some of us don't believe this at all. And then eventually we just forgot about it. We didn't care about it. And I think there was a moment where my brother moved into this room. And then one day my brother was like, hey, have you ever slept in sister's room? I'm like, no, I've never slept in my sister's room. Why? And he was like, yo, I felt something weird and I had a dream that there was an old man trying to talk to me. And my eyes were like, what the So the point of what I'm telling you, that there is a spirit of an old man that lives in here. Chills in here. I've not really witnessed this old man or felt this old man. I've only felt uneasy a couple of times, but my friend Nico, who all you guys know of some other vlogs and my Instagram, and the person I pretty much travel with all the time, he slept in his room and he has felt weird things and seen an old man as well. Yeah, so we did research. Apparently, this house was the house of a lot of doctors and nurses because across the street is the Robert F. Kennedy Hospital, which was, I think, retired or shut down back in the early 2000s, and now they use that place for filming movies. But there was a lot of doctors in the late 60s and 70s that would live in this house, and unfortunately sometimes there would be a lot of situations that would happen, like marital affairs and stuff like that, to the point where there was, if I'm not mistaken, someone died in this house. A couple of people died in this house because of just I won't say suicide because I never read that directly, but it just said that they just stopped living. I will see if I can find these documentaries, these docuseries again, or these articles, because I found these in the library. Yo, the library. Yeah, just saying, library. My local library. I don't know if kids go to the library anymore. And then it turns out that in the 90s, I had an uncle who lived in this house with my parents, but this uncle did witchcraft, and he will go to the basement, which is directly underneath this room, and practice witchcraft. Now, if there's any place in this house that feels eerie and spooky, it's not even this room, it's the basement. If you ever been to my basement, if I ever showed you my basement, because that's kind of like an attraction, I'm like, oh, you want to visit my haunted basement? Yeah, my basement feels weird, looks weird. It's kind of been rearranged to more like a storage now, so it's not that spooky. But let me tell you this, you will feel uneasy down there. And there was back in the 90s, 2000s, I will go down there with my brother just for dares, and we will see and feel things down there. I don't know what we will see, but we will see something and we will feel something. Turns out that my dad told my uncle, hey, you need to leave because we don't do that here, and it's not isn't something we want to open doors to. Well, Mother Tucker might have opened some doors and never closed them. That's what I want to believe. I mean, I believe also that these doors are closed. In the name of Jesus, we close these doors. Ba, ba, boom, boom. But there's always a hypothetical question of like, yo, could this basement be haunted?